In the US, the average number of credit cards per household is 3. In the US, the average household has credit card debt of $6,194 on those 3 credit cards. And the average interest rate is 14.75%. Today we're going to talk about how do we get rid of credit. Wow, in the last few days, I've completely changed my way of thinking on the best and quickest way to get out of debt. Did you know that the average household income in the US is about $65,000 a year? Did you know that the average household pays roughly $13,000 a year in income taxes? Did you know that leaves about $4,200 to live on per month? Well, did ya? The problem with this is that the average household expenses per month before car payments and credit card debt is $4,000 a month. So if you're making $4,200 a month in income and you have $4,000 a month in expenses, that only leaves you $200 for your consumer debt. When I first thought about this, I thought that's not so bad. You know, my first car loan I got was for $140 a month. Then I remembered that was back in 1985. And it made me feel old. So while I still think that credit card debt is a problem and that we need to address those issues, the underlying core issue is that we have these car loans that are just killing us. The average car payment every month now is $523 a month. So if you add $4,000 in monthly household expenses plus the $523 in your car loan, let's just say $500, that's $4,500 a month. You're losing $300 a month, and that's before you pay for any unexpected items or any vacations or anything like that. No wonder our credit card debt is out of whack. We've got to figure out, how do we take back control of the car that we own and that we drive every day? I recently saw this ad from Nissan that says, "We'll do the math, you do the driving." I used to own a Nissan. I think they're great cars. But I don't think that Nissan should be making decisions about my financial future. And that's what they're saying here, is we're going to tell you how much car you can afford, how you're going to pay for it, and what your monthly payment will be. We need to do the math. We need to take back control of our car purchases. This chart shows the amount of loans that have been taken out every quarter since the second quarter of 2011 on the far left, all the way up to 2021. So that first dot on the far left, that represents $72 billion. So in the second quarter of 2011, there were car loans started worth $72 billion. Now 10 years later, in the second quarter of 2021, that's the highest dot on there, there were $206 billion worth of car loans taken in that quarter. So we've almost tripled the amount of car loans, the value of the car loans that have been taken out just in 10 years, from 72 billion to 206 billion. We've got to get this car buying under control. We've got to take this back from the car makers and the car dealers. We've got to take control of this situation back. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Dave, that's all well and good, but what do? I've got this car. I have this car loan. I don't know what the next step would be. I think that now is an opportune time to make a really bold move. We're at this point in America where you can actually sell cars for more than what you bought them for. Or you can at least sell back your used car and get really high dollar for it. So if you have a car that you own and it's worth more than what you owe on it, I think it's time for you to sell that vehicle. Yeah, that's drastic. You may feel like, oh, but I need a nice car to drive to work. I need this kind of level of car. I'm telling you, you don't. You need to find a good car that can get you to work and back home. You don't need to have the nicest car out there. You might say, well, that's going to be humbling to not have as nice of a car. I'll tell you what's more humbling is when you're 40 years old and you have to declare bankruptcy. And that's what's going to happen to so many people if they don't figure out, how do I get out of debt now? So you need to do some research. You need to find out, what do you owe on your car? You need to find out, what can I sell my car for? If you can sell it for more than what you owe for it, you need to get out from under that car. If you can make a decent profit, or if you can get a decent amount of cash back, say $10,000 to $15,000, you're in a great spot, because you can sell your car, pay off your loan, and then go get a decent car for that $10,000 to $15,000. Not a brand new car, not necessarily a beautiful car, but a car that's going to run and it's going to get you where you need to go, and you won't be in debt on it. If you could do that, if you can take that drastic step, you then can move to the next step of paying off your credit cards quickly, because you'll have this extra money. You won't have this car payment that you have every month right now. I hope you're able to take these words. I hope there's something that you can do. Hey, thanks for joining me on this episode of Ordering Your Financial World. I hope you have a great day. Hope you have an abundant life.